Wife of 6 years ripped my heart out. I was married to my wife since 2006, and she was really the love of my life when we first met. My high school love, and I had our ups and downs, but I finally married her after what I believed was a long overdue courtship and engagement. I'm 29 years old, and she's 30 years old. While we were both present throughout the relationship, encouraging each other to be better, we finally moved to a different state for my professional opportunities. Except for our dog, whom we both love, we don't have any children of our own, so what happened next will be a bit easier to take for us. Over the course of the last year, I was promoted at work, and it proved to be good in the long run to convert to a work-from-home arrangement. Unfortunately, I could feel my wife's health deteriorating over the same year as well. Despite the fact that she was still making an effort to show interest in the relationship, it didn't seem like she was really present. There have been few to no advances, and much fewer romantic proposals, if any. Simply put, I received the feeling that she had gone through a thorough screening process. Moving ahead a few weeks, we celebrated our anniversary, as well as her birthday a couple of weeks ago. Something didn't seem to be quite right, and I wanted to find out what was going on. Obviously, I'm not claiming to be Nostradamus, but the night before I discovered the truth, I had a dream in which a voice informed me over and over that my wife was cheating on me with the AP name on it. It simply struck a chord with me, so I started looking around and found more messages that verified what I had already learned. When confronted, she first denied it, then claimed it was just one kiss, then claimed it was only one time. She eventually admitted it. I made the mistake of putting my faith in her and expecting that I would be able to salvage what we had. It's been roughly 5 days, and despite my best attempts, I managed to spy again. This time on the AP contact information, phone number, address, and so on. Despite the fact that I am nada and would never do anything to my wife or the guy, a part of me wanted to make certain that he did not have any family members who should be aware of what was going on. After discovering that I had snooped on her, she went into shock and was taken to the AP apartment, where he comforted her and then dropped off at the hospital. As soon as she arrived home, I confronted her about messages I had discovered on her iPad from her friends, who had inquired about the intricacies of this cheating experience, and she admitted to cheating again. Since trying to reconcile was a mistake, the next step is to file for divorce. I'm just mourning and experiencing tremendous low self-esteem at the moment. I'm not sure what my best course of action should be. I'm heading to bed after all of the excitement of the day. Update. We both agreed that divorce is the best option and, believe me, it's one of the most difficult things for me to accept, even though I know it's for the best. We have begun the process of completing everything, but we must continue to live on our property until we can begin the process of selling it. This has been the most difficult week of my marriage, and she is making it worse by the day. She's begun chatting to other males on dating apps in addition to maintaining her relationship with the AP. In my thoughts, I can't even imagine attempting to find someone right now, and even when offered with the opportunity to take a lady out, I couldn't pull the trigger. I don't understand how she can move on so easily while I am battling. The good news is that I return to work next week, which should keep me busy throughout the day. I'm learning that going out to dine, seeing a movie, or going to the shop alone is a nightmare. I'm dreading going to watch a movie by myself, but I've been looking forward to it since before the outbreak, so I'll make the most of it. I've been trying to lift myself up and, at the least, put myself out there to make acquaintances via meetups, but I haven't actively sought one out to go as of yet. The best thing that has come out of this is rekindled friendships and family that I haven't spoken to in years because I never really used social media, but decided to reappear on Facebook, where I was flooded by friends and family, most of whom are unaware of my situation because I haven't told them about it. Even with this, my STBXW is grating on my nerves since she claims that my friends and family abandoned me and that she was the only one who was there for me. As I previously indicated, we were always there to encourage each other to be better, and she was there when my mother died and I was experiencing a range of emotions when I was 18. For some reason, this one struck a chord with me since my family and friends never abandoned me. We slowly drifted away until there was no contact despite the fact that we lived in different states. This was probably more my fault due to a lack of communication with them. In any case, when she found out I was talking to them, she took offense and went on the defense, claiming I was talking trash about her. The irony is that the ones I did console just received a statement along the lines of "we are getting a divorce because she cheated." I didn't go into depth, and they didn't inquire. All I can say to anybody who is struggling with a bad circumstance in their relationship or marriage is that it is not easy. It may be simple for them, but it stinks for those of us who have to cope with the agony. I'm not sure how long it will take until I'm fully over it, but every day it becomes better and easier, even if it's a 100-mile road and I'm just moving millimeters every day. If I decide to update this further, I'll hopefully have better news. Thank you everyone again for everything this week. Story 2. Saw ex-wife in person for the first time since I kicked her out 9/11 or so months ago. We hadn't had much in the way of communication, except when I grew angry and texted her things that I was thinking about. This is something that I really regret. I used disrespectful language in my speech. I've come to realize that I'm the duped spouse. I was still feeling a little cold. Let's go back to the previous week. My favorite dog that I'd ever had was suffering from an autoimmune ailment and was in severe condition when I found him. My ex-husband was a tremendous supporter of our animals. She was an excellent dog mom, and I was well aware of how much she loved them. So when I took my ill dog to the vet, I pushed her to pay him one final visit in case he passed away. He was just 6 years old at the time, and it was sad for his family. She comes, and our earlier connection is overshadowed by the presence of the dog. We end up keeping him in our care 24 hours a day for 3 days and administering 3 blood transfusions during that time. Because they were ineffectual, I made the decision to have him put to death. I invited my ex-boyfriend to join me to the dog's farewell. It was a horrible experience. We were in tears. The most essential thing was that we spoke to one another. My animosity for her had waned over time. I now have a girlfriend that is just wonderful. I'm a single person who has carved out a life for myself. Furthermore, since I'm so protective of my feelings for the ex, I kept things cold and mechanical with her. I learned that she views her affair to be the biggest mistake she has ever made in her whole life. She feels disgusted with herself. After contemplating suicide for months, the only thing that kept her going was the hope of one day seeing the dogs. What she didn't realize was that I was not going to allow it to happen until my dog died in the process. I also had no notion that every time I wrote a harsh-as message to my ex-girlfriend, she was already contemplating suicide. She has panic attacks when she goes to the grocery store because she is afraid she may run into one of my acquaintances. I'm sorry about her predicament. I've said categorically that I am unable and will not be her friend, but I did offer to drop over our old dog, who she adores, so that she may take her for a walk. I'm mostly doing this for me, because I feel it's the right thing to do in this situation. Before you tell me that this is all phony guilt, that she's a narcissist, and that this is just a statistical anomaly, please know that I've thought the same thing myself at times. It's a fact of life that she made a huge mistake, and she is now paying the price for it. To be quite honest, I would not want to be in her position. There are some narcissists that separate their relationships and are probably mentally ill, but I looked into the implications of adultery, and let me tell you, it seems to be hell on earth. She will be haunted by feelings of guilt and sorrow for the rest of her life. I made it quite clear to her that I was not her best friend. Her effort to a joke was met with a simple, "We're not doing that," response from me. It was for my own security that I couldn't bring myself to share the puppy with her, so I explained my reluctance. In contrast to many other betrayed spouses, I've come a long way, and my heart goes out to you. But letting go of all the anger has liberated my soul in ways that nothing else has. I've replaced it with pity, and that's been really beneficial. As a consequence of all of this, I used to explode in fits of wrath and then uncontrollably. Now, it's just as sad that it happened. I may have been duped, but I can rest easy knowing that I was loyal and kind throughout the process. Please accept my apologies if I have rambled on, but it is necessary to get my thoughts out. Everyone have a wonderful day.